Hello. How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing well. It's all kind of in the eye of the beholder how well someone may or may not be doing. Um, and what kind of attitude you have. I always find it fascinating that my husband thinks I'm the most amazing person in the world. Find that just yes, a husband probably should, right? But to me, it's very hard for me because I'll be like, no, that's not true. Like oh, look at all you did today. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess, or he sees, he sees me through obviously rose colored glasses because he's in love with me. And as probably I do to him also, which I would say I do. I saw, obviously, I've been binging a lot of TV lately, and on Malcolm in the Middle, I went back and watched it, and they had one where she was dancing, and she was taking a dancing class, a ballroom dancing class. And her mind, she was just amazing. And then her son recorded her once, and she was just terrible. When she watched it, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm actually terrible. And then her husband, he watched the video, and she's like, see how terrible I am? And her husband's like, you are amazing. You're so beautiful. And he took her, and it was like they were dancing amazingly, and then the kids were watching it, and they were horrible. And this is always like my biggest fear, right? Because, in my husband's eyes, I may be amazing, but then I'm always fearful, like, but what about in someone else's? Which, again, is just all in the beholder, and it really shouldn't matter, right? It really, really shouldn't matter. And I'm glad that I have someone who thinks I'm great. Like, seriously, I mean, I think we all kind of need that. And you think about how does God see you? And I guarantee it's completely different than what you think. And so I've talked a lot about, like, trying to see others the way God does. But have you ever thought about trying to see yourself the way God does? And it's just kind of an interesting, it's a shift. And or what does he want me to do? Or how does he see me? I was reading a quote the other day, and in there it had said that God knows your thoughts. And I was like, oh, I don't want him to know my thoughts. Are you kidding me? That's like the worst thing ever. And like my thoughts are, I just yuck. But then I was thinking, you know if my thoughts, if you or don't thoughts kind of lead to actions or what you believe in. So if I change my thoughts, will that make me a happier person? Will that kind of change maybe perspectives I have or things if I think about that he sees my thoughts or that he knows my thoughts and he knows my heart and he knows me better than I know myself, better than my husband knows me, better than my kids, better than anybody. He knows me. And so, yes, he knows my weaknesses and he knows where I'm wrong, but he also knows what I can do. And where I see weaknesses, he may see that they can become strengths. Doesn't your weaknesses become your strengths? And so it's kind of, you don't want to be, obviously humility. We need to have that, but to just, maybe if you're struggling, or even if you're not, to just, pray to ask to see yourself the way God does. And you know what? If there's things we need to change, obviously I need to change my thoughts. And I have a whole laundry list of things I need to change. Don't get me wrong. He can give you the strength to change. I know it will be hard, but doesn't he just want you to be a better person? And I don't see anything wrong with being more Christ-like, being nicer, being more loving, being open. So that's just kind of my thoughts today when I beat myself up and I'm hard on myself. That's something we can all do. Is not only see others through God's eyes, but to see yourself. Because trust me, it's hard. And I don't necessarily like it because I see all the things I do wrong. But I can also see some of the good I do too. So that's kind of a challenge for this week. Let me know how you do. And I hope you're all doing great. I'm sure you are. Thanks.